Hello everyone. So we are back again with this beautiful and amazing another guest of ours today joining us on this leader show, and her name is Miss Captain Ritu Kumar Singh, and she's an ex-Indian army officer, a TEDx speaker, woman health coach specializing in pregnancy and postnatal health and fitness, here to change the whole outlook towards fitness by preparing men and women for the most important marathon, the marathon of pregnancy and postpartum, and helping them lose weight and gain strength without any pains and injuries. How beautiful it is to see you, on this beautiful mission and creating a massive impact in people's lives. Thank you so much for being on the show today, because it's an honor for me to be hosting you. So, I just want to appreciate and acknowledge you for the fact that you could be doing anything else, but still you choose here to be with me, and value. I really value your precious time. Thank you once again for joining in today.
Thank you so much, Gargi, for having me here. Let me tell you, it's my privilege to be there on your show. I love talking to young people, youth of our country, and I really love to be here. I'm honored. Thank you for calling me.
Awesome, great.
Campfires.
So, my first question to you is, everything starts with a story. This mission of yours must have started with a painful journey or any moment where you realized something, and you just wanted to go on this beautiful journey of helping people. So, what led you on this path?
Okay, so it all boils down to my childhood. I always used to, I was born in a very conservative background wherein my mother was in a parda system. So she used to cover her face. And all our ladies in our family used to be like that. So I always saw her giving to everybody, giving lots of love, giving, like all our mothers are doing that, right? Just giving that love, care, attention to everybody and just keeping her own health and fitness at a back step. So at that time, I decided that I will never be like my mom. I'll become that young, vivacious, strong girl, and I will never ever be like my mom. I literally started hating my mom in my teenage for why she was not taking care of her own self. But as I grew up, I joined Indian Army just to be that strong, strong woman and girl. But the moment I became a mother, I realized, it's not something you can help. So once you decide to become a mother, there are certain hormonal changes which will happen in your body, which will be out of your control, right? So oxytocin hormone will release, which will automatically make you a more loving and a caring person. Like after giving birth, I think for me, my baby was everything. I was like my baby on the top, everything on the last. Like even my profession was like a second subject. I couldn't help it. It was the hormones which was rushing inside my body. I changed mentally, I changed physically, and then I realized, there was nothing wrong which my mother was doing. She was just taking care of her, family. And while doing so, sometimes you don't want to do that, but it happens. No matter how hard you want to work on your fitness and health, it takes a backseat because your baby's forefront, your motherhood duties comes at a front level. And I think the amount of support which I required at that time, that was not available. There were no mom communities as such. In ladies in our families also viewed it like everyone gives birth every third day. What's so special in it? Why do you require that? And I suffered from postpartum depression, which affected my relationship with my child as well as my husband. And as I gained a whooping 24 kgs of weight, like I was around 83 kgs, my health was deteriorated, my sugar levels got haywire, I developed an eating disorder. And all this happened while I was serving in the Indian Army. And somehow Indian Army is really very strict, very strict. You have to be, it won't listen to excuses. Your service is over yourself. That's the main oath which we take when we get commissioned. But to keep my service over self, I also have to be in a position, mental position and physical state to do that. I was not in that, and nobody understood that. And then I realized that I was actually suffering from postpartum depression. And when a person is suffering from postpartum depression, and military hospitals do not consider postpartum depression to be a condition, right? There was not much knowledge about it. Somehow I coped up, and it started affecting my job as an officer in the Indian Army as well. And Then of course with time I realized that with changing times there used to be joint family structures earlier, right? So taking care of a child was easy. There were like a lot of family members taking care of the child, right? Also in earlier times women were not working, they were not going to offices, they were just taking care of the babies. But now in the changing time, first of all we are staying in nuclear setups, it's just the husband, wife and the child, right? Second, women have started working, so men women both are working, but we are viewing motherhood and rearing a child in the same manner it was viewed earlier. And I think it's now time to change that both men and women must prepare for this. It doesn't end at pregnancy. I would say 9 months are a period, plus more 2 years till the time your child grows up. It's a period, it's a task bringing up a child into this world. So I think it's a high time that we, men and women, prepare for the marathon of pregnancy, because a woman will go through lots of emotional and physical turbulence, and it will affect her relationships and professional life also. So of course my husband had a great role in helping me out as well, because if a husband is not understanding his wife, she will not be able to do that. And in this journey I couldn't continue in the Indian army because of my health issues and for the fact that there was no one to take care of my baby. And I really don't want any other woman to go through that journey. Right? I could have easily opted for permanent commission, but I took release as a short service commissioned officer after I completed the designated time. I could have gone for more period. I could have achieved everything I wanted to do. But creating that balance between motherhood and my professional life was getting difficult. And I really don't want any other woman to take such a decision in a hard time. So maybe I'm not wearing the uniform right now, but I'm still wearing its spirit, and I'm all decked up to, help women to, create that, line with their professional personal life, preparing for pregnancy and motherhood.
Can just go on listening to you, like you have shared it so, in a deep way, full of feelings, full of emotions coming all from your heart, and can really feel your love for this topic, and to help more and more women and men go through all of this. So thank you so much for the work that you do and the impact you are creating. My second question to you is why do you feel health matters? Because most of us, we know that health is wealth, but I feel that, including me, if I tell you that we are not that much focused on our health. So how can we, rather than just being aware, how can we start implementing it?
I heard a saying somewhere, I read it, I think, in somewhere. We don't realize the importance of health unless we face any health issues, right? So we people wait for that perfect time to come when we will get diabetes, when we will get BP, or when we will get a heart attack, and then start focusing on our health. Prevention is always better than cure. We deep inside know that this food is not right for me, this food is not right for me, and these are just informed choices. So if there is more awareness about it and people start understanding this more equally, it will be a great thing to do. Also the fact that with the changing times, the lifestyle has become sedentary. We need to understand that there were no means of transport earlier. So people used to walk long distances, right? There were no cars, there was nothing. Even women used to go to wells and fetch water to their home. Now the lifestyles have changed. We are literally sitting on our chair and our postures have gone wrong, which causes us back pains in our body and this thing. So if we take out just 1 hour for ourselves to exercise and just taking care of our nutritional needs, I think the game will change. Somebody asked me that day, how do you look so good? What do you eat? I was like, what you eat will make you look good. What's going in, it's not about outside, it's about what is going inside that matters a lot. You can apply thousands of cream on those dark circles, you can apply thousands of cream on that pimple, but unless you address what's going inside, you won't be able to address what's coming outside, right? So people focus on spending more on cosmetics rather than spending on that organic vegetables or fresh farm produces which you can eat. So I think if you want to look good, eat good. If you want to look good, drink good. If you want to look good, speak good. If you want to look good, consume good. So, and who doesn't want to look good, right?
It was a nice formula of eating, drinking, consuming good. So thank you so much for mentioning that. You put it in a very easy way to understand for all of us, because most of us, you rightly said, they spend money on so many things. for the outside beauty, but it's all a byproduct of what's going in the inner world, because your inner world will create your outer world. So
Absolutely.
great answer. My next question to you is like, what type of training do you think people need in order to lose weight, or specifically according to your age?
All right. So, see, losing weight is a very simple formula scientifically. Okay, it just works on calories in, calories out. We all know that, right? So it's just the energy exchange. I'm so much into energies. Like we humans are energies here, right? We're consuming energy. We are releasing energies. So the amount of food you eat, you must be burning more calories than what you're eating, right? So this is a simple funda. What you can do is either eat less amount of food, okay, taking care of your nutritional values, of course, or you add a workout routine to your life which will help you create that energy balance and which will help you lose fat. That's the only funda, very simple, nothing more to go. So I always say that, eat local, whatever is there in your kitchen. You don't need to buy those, import those, have fancy items and eat that. Eat what is there in your kitchen, right? And work out more. I know my grandfather and grandmother, they still eat 2 meals a day, and both of them like my grandfather is 90 and my grandmother is in her 80s, and both of them still go for walk. They're fit, they're like no problems as such, because they eat 2 meals a day, right? They drink lots of water, in between they have fruit, and they still walk, go for a morning walk and the evening walk. And I think that's enough. Just a physical activity and eating well. Food should be viewed as something which is necessary for us to survive, but we sometimes view food as our escape mechanism. I'm not feeling well, I need a treat. Oh, let's celebrate, let's eat a lot. We have viewed it in a manner that we have somehow, I feel, started considering our bodies like dustbins, right? Just push everything inside it. It's not a dustbin, right? We do not want our kids to eat chocolates and chips, but we eat. We do not want our kids to have pizzas and everything, but we eat. In a way, it's like a self-reflection, like we don't love our own self. So more than just doing physical activities and eating less, it's also a mindset training, I believe. We're living in so much of stress in this amount of time that no matter how hard we know that we have to exercise or we have to eat this food, sometimes the stress levels are such a high that we view food as a escape mechanism. So I think it has to be an overall work of, working on your mindset, the people you surround yourself with, right? And of course, if it's all correct, we will start eating good and we will start including physical activities, and vice versa is also true. If we start exercising, we start eating healthy, automatically our mindset will improve too.
Great. That inner motivation should come in order to do these things, because external won't last for a long time.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Now my next question to you is like, since you were a part of the Indian Army, what struggles did you face and how did you cope up with them? But before you answer, hats off to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Jai Hind. Yeah, so Indian Army, I would say like it was a different experience altogether. I won't say it's a job, but it's a way of life. And once you adorn that way of life, let me tell you, even if you shift to a civilian lifestyle, that thing will stay with you. So when I joined Army, I was not too much aware about, nobody from my family was in Army. I cleared my SSB in first attempt and I went for my training. And in that training, like a layman, I always heard, that you have to do a physical tough training. I was like, what will they make us do? They will make us run 100 meters, 400 meters and all that. But the moment I went there, it was like a different picture. It's entirely different. The first thing they did was, they took my hair like this, they made two choti and chop this, and suddenly a razor comes and I'm like in a katora cut. Like they chopped off my hair completely. First shock of my life. Then suddenly they asked me to be on my head down and my legs up. So my head was down, the blood flow getting into my head and my legs are up for a long period of time. And it was more of a mental training than being in a physical training, of sustaining. I saw people leaving training in between and just moving away and saying that this is not meant for me. And I realized that physically you will become stronger. The only thing you have to do is just train your mind. So I think training and rewiring that mind took a lot of time. And I think that has helped me even in my today's life, because we all There were many ups and downs in my life where I've gone through various struggles. I think that phase of the life literally helped me to combat those struggles in my regular life as well. The struggles which I faced in army was, of course, they started once I became a mother, like I already told you. So army is not a job, it's a way of life. And when you took an oath that service before self, you have to leave everything, right? And somehow I felt that, women in army, if they're going to have children, they should have enough support to do that. Or in the changing time, men should also take equal responsibility of rearing a child if you are deciding to bring a child into this world while serving in the army. Otherwise, it's a lucrative job. Not too many struggles, but I would say too much of empowerment I got by serving in this organization. In my day-to-day life, belonging to a village or a conservative family, I never thought that at 2:30 in the night, I will be the only woman standing there on duty with 10 men with me and feeling safe at the same time. And I think the only organization which can make you feel that is Indian Army. So that's it.
I'm falling short of words right now. I don't know how to express, but I can only salute you once again because, I have love for army too. So when I heard, I didn't know that you were an army officer, but when I got to know about Super Speaker, when I watched the full session, and then I started following all of you, and once I was checking your profile, and in your bio it was mentioned. Since then, I got so much inspired from you. So, hats off to you and salute you for the work that you are doing.
Thank you. Thank you, Gargi. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Now, my next question to you is I feel that you are already very mentally, physically, and emotionally strong person. So, what will you advise to other women out there? Because we are already made, I think it's God creator only who is emotionally made human being is a woman. So, what tips or advice would you give to the women who are not able to handle their emotions?
I would say, first of all, accept and acknowledge the fact that you are a woman, right? Sometimes, in order to portray ourselves as strong, we start adorning or accepting the masculine part of us and just leave away the feminine part of it. And I also had this realization over a period of time. And I also recently accepted this fact. Not that I was always in sync with this, but I think the first rule is accept that you're a woman and accept that there are certain hormones in you which automatically makes you caring and loving. The biggest power if you can have is that love, care, which you have as a woman. Use it as a weapon, okay? Love people around you, give people around you, and I'm sure it reflects back at the end of the day. But at the same time, you must draw a thin line. It's just a thin line, right? A thin line of understanding that where you start becoming a victim and where you start becoming a warrior, right? Sometimes while giving, we start getting into a victim mode, right? So you have to overcome that. And in the changing times when women are doing everything, I believe that all women should do everything. And just a little tact, just a little management, understanding your own self, and keeping your family in sync with you, I think it does the job. That's it.
Great. So I hope that all the people who are going to listen it, they are going to get a lot of value in the form of gold that you are giving to all of us. So my next question to you is since you have been a part of Super Speaker journey of season 2 and getting selected among top 10 out of 2 lakh registrations is really not easy. So salute you once again for the efforts that you put every single day in order to get through all of the challenges. So what was your experience of this journey, and was there any major lesson that you learned?
Yeah, biggest lesson I think which I learned was Super Speaker is not a competition. Let me tell you, it is viewed as a competition, but when you enter within that system of the journey wherein you are going forward and becoming something, the whole goal is to impact and inspire. And if you really go there with an aim to impact and inspire, let me tell you, you will be there in the top notch. Super 10, or wherever you are. I think all of them were deserving. Just that I believe that it's not a competition, but it was kind of a collaboration. All of us collaborating together to reach a higher purpose or a higher message of impacting and inspiring people. And I think if we start collaborating in our day-to-day life with people, the world will be a better place. And we should stop competing. I think this was the biggest lesson ever. We all, the world is so vast, the opportunities are so wide, that each one of us can create our own space. So there is no need of any competition, only collaboration.
This is the one lesson that I learned in Super Speaker season 1 also and 2 also. Like, I also participate, but they have an age bar that only from 18 the people can get selected. But I don't participate with an aim to get qualified. I just want to spread the message across, and that's why I participate, to learn every single time. And I like interviewed some of the speakers of season 1 also, and their lessons were also the same, that competition was not there, it's all about collaboration. And I was just seeing all the like posters of all of you that Suren sir was uploading on social media. You all were like this, some other poses were all, so it never showed any competition, it was all showing the feelings of cooperation, love, care, community. So I think all of you top 10 have become the best friends forever.
Yes, like a different family. We are just like a
Yes,
family now, so connected to
awesome.
each other.
Great. And like my second last question to you will be, since you are creating this beautiful community, how can someone join you?
So I'm on two pages on Instagram. So one is my personal account, Captain Ritu Kumar Singh, wherein I just love to connect with people randomly. It's not that I'm doing it for as a purpose of business. I love to connect with youth. I love to connect with people. I like keep sharing my stuff and all that. Now, I have an official page called Fit Moms Fitter Homes. So that's the page if somebody wants to, connect with me and do certain courses. That's the page wherein they can message me. And even if they message me on my personal page, that's good to go. I will just rewire them and connect them to the required mode.
Okay. So all of you just note that the links will be there in the description. All you need to do is join her, because I can guarantee that if I am getting so much value, you are getting too. So just join her, follow her on Instagram, follow her professional page, and just you are going to like enjoy the whole journey and magic that she's creating. And my last like question for you is, what would be your one last message to all the people who are watching this?
Well, I would say that, you deserve more than one chance. I always tell this to everyone. I always tell this to my own self. It's not just a one try and you just give it up. We all deserve more than one chances. Give yourself those chances and just go grab that dream which you have in your life.
Simple yet powerful. So most of us, we feel that we have failed at one time only, but give yourself another chance. Keep trying, and one day will come when everything will, make sense if it's not making today. Awesome. So thank you so much for, like coming on this show. It was really an honor to host you. And to all of you, I would love for you to take the action steps. Do comment down below the video what were your key takeaways or aha moments. And the second is, follow her page, follow her on Instagram, and join her magical tribe. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Gargi. So lovely talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.